Hello, 7th grade. This is NTI Math Day 3. It is Thursday, January the 18th. Hope you're having a good day. You will need a calculator for this one, so you can either use a phone calculator or you could do the old-fashioned way and get paper and pencil, but we used a calculator when we did this section. Okay, this is about circles. So the first thing are the formulas for the circles. To find the area of a circle, you take pi times the radius to the second power squared. Or you could also take pi times, you can get the circumference by taking pi times diameter. This is the formula we used. But if you have the radius instead, you can just double the radius and then multiply it by pi. Okay, and then I have some hints. Oh, these are my hints. This is the radius from the center to the edge, whereas the diameter is all the way across. Okay, number one, if the diameter of a circle is 80, which means if it's all the way across 80, okay, what is the radius? So if it's all the way across, then what is the distance between the center and the edge? Well, that's going to be half. So you're going to take half of 80 for number one. Number two, if the radius of circle is 44, what's the diameter? So if the radius is the shorter one, 44, then get the diameter, you're going to double it. So get 44 times 2 to get your answer. Number three, the diameter of a circle is 5 inches. So all the way across 5 inches. Find the length of its radius. So you're taking half of 5, which is going to be a decimal or a fraction. When you enter your answers, I believe this is multiple choice, so it could be in either form. Okay, so that's pretty straightforward. We all did very well with this when we did in class. Now circumference. Okay, circumference is diameter times pi. Find the circumference of the given circle given a diameter of 40 centimeters. So all the way across is 40, and we want the circumference. Circumference is the distance around the circle, and the ratio is pi, which is approximately 3.14, times that diameter. I know I wrote it that way, but I'm going to multiply it this way. So 3.14 times the diameter, and that will give you the radius. I put the wavy lines because it's approximately that answer. This one I'll go ahead and do for you. Looks like it's about 125 6/10. And the units are centimeters. Length is centimeters, whereas if it were area, it'd be centimeters squared. Number 5. Find the circumference of the given circle. This time we don't have the diameter, we have the radius. So to find the diameter, you think about what it would be all the way across, and it would be 14 inches. Excuse me, I have a tickle in my throat. Diameter would be 14. So for this one, you're going to take 3.14 times the 14 to get your circumference. Number 6, the radius is 10, so it's just like this picture, only instead of 7, it's now 10. What would be the, oh wait, this is different. What will be the area of the circle? Okay, the area is a different formula. To find the area of a circle, you take pi times the radius to the second power. Since the radius is 10, and we're going to use 3.14 for pi, it's going to be 3.14 times, the radius, which is 10, to the second power. If you don't have an exponent button at home like we do on our calculator, you can type this in as 3.14 times 10 times 10. By the way, 10 times 10 is 100. So just think about what happens when you multiply this by 100. And when you're doing units on this one, units for area are always squared. So it's centimeters to the second power. Number 7. And this one is multiple choice, which is nice. Laura's yard is in the shape of a square and a half circle. What's the approximate area of Laura's yard? I don't know if it quite looks like it, but this is supposed to be a perfect square on the bottom. And the way you find the area of a square is the side squared, or base times height if it's a rectangle. 17 times 17, I believe, is 289. Let's see. Yeah, 289. So 289 is the area of this square on the bottom. Okay, then we have to find the area of the circle on top. The circle on the top, we're going to find the area. We need the radius though. Okay, the radius is the distance from the center to the edge. If it's 17 all the way across, then we're going to take half of that to get this radius. Half of 17 is 8.5. So if this were a full circle and we wanted to find the area, we would take pi times the radius squared. So I'm going to go ahead and do this with you. Good thing about my calculator is I have the squared button, but remember, if you don't have that, you can put times 8.5 times another 8.5, and I get 226 and 865 thousandths. But that's the area if it's a full circle. This is not a full circle, it's only half a circle. So then we're going to divide that by 2. Okay, it's still in my calculator, so now I'm going to put divided by 2. And it's about 113, and I'm going to round this off. 113 point, we'll just put 113.4. Okay, that's the portions here at the top. So this half circle at the top is 113.4. The square on the bottom is 289. If you want the total area, you add those together, and your answer should be there. It looks like it's rounded to the nearest whole number. Number 8. A clock face has a circumference of 39.88. Find the diameter. The circumference formula multiplies diameter times pi. The problem is we already have the circumference, so we're going to think about the inverse. If we have already multiplied by pi to get this number, and we want to go back to the diameter, you can do the inverse, which is divide by pi. 39.88 divided by pi, which is 3.14. That's what it says to use. And that should give your approximate answer. Okay, and if you want to check it, once you get that answer, you could do that number times 3.14. I've told students too, if they struggle with this one, you could just try each one of those and see which one works. You could take 6.35 times pi, 12.7 times pi, 19 times pi, and 25.40 times pi, and see which one gives you closest to this answer. Number 9. Find the circumference of a circle with a radius of 5. Okay, there's the circle with a radius of 5. We're doing circumference. Circumference is diameter times pi, but we don't have the diameter, we have the radius. So that means your diameter would be all the way across, which is 10 times pi. So normally I would take my calculator and I would go 10 times 3.14 to get my answer. But if you look at your answer choices, they all have the pi symbol in the answer. That means instead of multiplying that together, we just leave this answer the way it is, and there it is right there. Okay, that means to get my answer, I take 10 times whatever approximation I'm using for pi, which is 3.14. This is actually a more exact answer because when we use 3.14, we are rounding pi to the nearest hundredth. And number 10. Find the area of a circle that has a radius of 8 centimeters. Okay, area is pi times radius squared. Okay, in this case, we're going to use 3.14 for pi times, lots of dots here, the radius, that's 8 to the second power. Okay, you're going to put this in your calculator to get your answer or work it out by hand. Remember, if you don't have squared, you're going to type in 3.14 times 8 times 8. Okay, I believe that's it. I believe that was a good little review on circles. It's been a while since we worked on circles. All right, stay safe and warm. I hope we don't get too much bad weather, and I hope to see you soon.